Hi, my name is Purvi Modi, and I am the head of counseling at Insight Education. So demonstrated interest is this concept that really started appearing about 5 or 6 years ago. And colleges start to recognize that they're able to understand when a student is actually really interested in their school. And this is important for them because not only are they looking for great candidates to attend their school, to apply and attend their school, they want to make sure that they're also accepting kids where they know that there's a higher chance that those kids will accept their offer and actually attend. So with demonstrated interest, what you're telling a school is, I'm taking the time to learn about your school. I am either coming to online sessions, I've come to campus if possible and when possible without a pandemic. And I've really tried to learn as much about the school as possible to make the decision to apply rather than randomly applying to a bunch of schools through the Common App because supplements feel easy or I kind of heard about a school. So really the important thing for demonstrated interest is the note that you are sending a school, the message you are sending a school that, hey, I'm really interested in your school and I'm taking the time to learn about the school. Now, does this mean that you should inauthentically just be, sitting in on a bunch of webinars and things like that? No, absolutely not. This isn't just about you randomly showing your interest. This is about you actually learning about colleges and figuring out if this school or this set of schools is actually a really good fit for you. So it's important. We don't think about it from the perspective of demonstrated interest. We think about it from the perspective of you actually learning about the school and taking the time to learn as much as possible about the school. On the flip side, some schools, and this is not all schools in the country, will look at this as a positive sign that if you are accepted, you're more likely to accept the offer. So there are many schools that actually don't really pay attention to demonstrated interest. The schools that do tend to be smaller colleges, and they tend to be ones where people might not have heard of as much, or they tend to be ones where they're just like, listen, we need to be really careful of over-admitting and making sure that we're admitting the right schools. So schools that tend to be more popular that look at demonstrated interest are the smaller liberal arts colleges, or just the smaller colleges in general. For the most part, the big public universities are not actually looking at demonstrated interest. Some do, a couple actually do look at demonstrated interest, but honestly, that's starting to lose value because as some of these schools increase their reputation and the number of applications are going up, they really don't have the capacity to look at demonstrated interest any longer because it's just too much for them to measure. They know that they can fill up their class with whoever they admit because they are so desirable. So demonstrated interest really would be for smaller colleges and ones that may be a little bit more localized or really, really tiny schools. If you'd like to have a list of schools that look at demonstrated interest, check out Insight's blog. We're continuously updating that, and that'll be a great resource for you. There's so many ways to demonstrate interest. It used to before feel like the only way you could do it was by actually visiting a college, but the reality is that isn't really feasible for everybody. It's expensive to fly around the country to visit colleges, and you may also just not have the time to do so. So other ways that you can do it, and now because of the pandemic, there are so many different ways that you can actually learn about schools without being on campus. So colleges have done a spectacular job with increasing their virtual offerings. So virtual tours, virtual college information sessions, opportunities to talk to current students. Attending any of those sessions, any or all of those sessions is amazing. And remember to do these for the schools you're actually really excited about and to do it for schools that you just don't know that much about and you want to learn more about. You'll be getting emails from different colleges, and those emails will include links for you to click on to check out different information. They might also give you links for events that are happening. I would definitely click on those links because colleges have very sophisticated CRM systems right now, and they'll know how many times you open an email, how often are you clicking on links, do you actually attend those events when you say that you're going to attend the events. So really keep track of all of that. Don't spend time every week just clicking links for the sake of it. Again, do this because you're authentically interested in learning about these schools. So a few key ways virtual information sessions, virtual open houses, opportunities to meet with current students that are at the school or alums that have graduated recently. If able to visit colleges without a huge financial strain, it's really nice to be on campus. Nothing replaces the feel of walking around a campus and just getting that gut reaction. But that being said, again, colleges have done such a spectacular job increasing their virtual offerings. You're going to get a pretty good sense of that these days online. It's really important that when you're attending a virtual information session that you have to be engaged. I think it's so easy these days that when you're looking at something online to feel like you're doing multiple other things at the same time, and then really thinking back, did I learn as much as I wanted to from the session? So pay attention, take a lot of really great notes. And this could be about stuff that you already knew about the school or things that you just hadn't recognized. And why this is important is that if you choose to apply to that school and that school later asks you in an essay, why are you interested in applying to this particular school? You have your wonderful notes that you've taken from a virtual session that you've heard from students at the school or from admissions officers or alums at the school. So really personalized data that you're going to have. You also usually will have the opportunity to ask questions. Now, I would recommend that you do a little bit of research before you attend a virtual session. Learn about the school as much as you can so that the questions you ask are actually meaningful to you. Don't ask questions like, what extracurricular opportunities do you offer? That's pretty easily found on a college's website. Don't ask what classes are offered. That's also pretty easily found on a website. But if you ask deeper questions, like at your school, do students really have the opportunity to get involved in extracurricular opportunities? You'd like to include that. Asking questions like, how competitive does the school feel? Do kids really feel like they're stressed out, or do they feel like there's a great support system on campus? That's a deeper question. And not only are you going to get the right information, but you're probably going to impress an admissions officer who's going to say, wow, this student has been really thoughtful about our school, isn't asking questions that other students really don't. So do some research ahead of time, pay attention during the session, ask great questions. And if after the session you actually have more questions that have come up, feel free to email the admissions officer. For the most part, they're really happy to answer these questions and really share as much information about the school as they can. It's really nice to walk around a college campus and to see a dorm room, to see a classroom, to walk into a student center and feel what it's like to be on campus. And it's harder to do that when it's virtual. But again, colleges have done such a spectacular job, and technology really allows us to get a glimpse of college life, even if you're looking at it from your computer screen. So with a virtual tour, just like with a virtual information session, take notes. Take a note of like a dorm room, and when you're looking at it virtually, what does that feel like for you? Does it feel like a room you'd be excited about? Do you like the idea of being in a room with another person, or is that a little bit daunting for you? When you look at a classroom, are they really large lecture halls and you can imagine yourself sitting in that lecture hall with 200, 300 of your closest friends, like attentively listening to your professor talk about something really exciting? Or does that feel a little bit overwhelming and you like the schools where maybe the classrooms are a little bit smaller and feel maybe more like your high school classroom? So really take notes and try to imagine yourself on campus during the virtual tour. It's going to make a big difference. But I think you couple a virtual tour with other things that you may do. Talk to students at the school, get a sense of what they feel about the school. Go to the virtual information sessions, learn as much as you can. Talk to friends who maybe have graduated from the school and ask about what their experience has been like. So you don't really think about a virtual tour in isolation. The tour by itself is not going to be enough information to tell you whether or not you should apply to the school or whether or not you're going to love the school. But coupling that with other resources will definitely be really valuable for you. One of the really great resources that we have at Insight, because we've been working with kids for so long and we have the amazing opportunity to actually keep in touch with these kids well into their adulthood, after they have graduated from college, gone to graduate school, even after they've gotten married, that it's given us a really great network, which provides a great resource for our younger students. That when they say, when our younger students are asking, I want to talk to somebody who went to X college, can I do that? Sure, let's put you in touch with a student that actually went there, maybe studied what you studied, maybe is interested in a career that you're interested in, or is pursuing a career that you're interested in. And so not only is it a great opportunity to learn about the school, you can learn about majors, different career paths, and really get the inside scoop. So it's a wonderful resource. We're so happy to offer it to our students, and we're so happy to be able to keep in touch with our students well after they graduate from high school.